what is considered one of the greatest TV shows of all time, and to some, the greatest TV show of all time, MASH. This is a show that came out when I was younger. Parents watched it. I did not like it just because it didn't appeal to me, and it was kind of adult humor and things that I never understood. But once I got older, about 3-4 years ago, I started watching it because there was reruns on MeTV every day, and I fell in love with this show. And I absolutely love it. I watch it every day, and I never get tired of it. And I wanted to come up with a list of the 5 greatest MASH episodes in the series history, in my opinion. And coming in at number 5, Our Finest Hour. Now, this was an episode that was done in a interview style, and it was in black and white, and they had a TV crew come in and kind of observe and record and do sit-down interviews with different members of the MASH 4077 crew, including Hawkeye, who, in my opinion, had the greatest moments in that episode of being completely honest and not pulling any punches, just letting you know the reality of war and how terrible and horrible and things were and what they were going through, and not glamorizing it. So that was a very, very cool episode. It was, I think, one of the first of its time to do that. So at number 5, Our Finest Hour. And at number 4, I hope I'm saying this right, I'm not sure if I am, Abyssinia Henry. And this is one where Henry gets the orders that he is officially going home. So Trapper, Hawkeye, Radar, they decide to throw a Henry a little going away bash. And it's just the camaraderie in this episode, and to show how close these 4 people really were and how much they meant to each other. And this episode has to have one of the most tragic and heartbreaking and unexpected endings to it. And then having Henry Blake's plane shot down, and he ends up not making it. And you can see the look on their faces in the episode at the end. Just how sad, it was as far as losing that character and that person in the show. So yeah, this was an incredible episode. Absolutely love it. It's the highest of the highs and the lowest of the lows. Number 3, Follies of the Living, Concerns of the Dead. This was one of the first episodes that really stuck out to me, and I really, really love this one. The premise of this one has Klinger getting sick and getting a fever, and they can't figure out exactly what it is and what's going on, and they're trying to figure out what the cause was and whether they should do this or do that. And the staff is arguing, and they have a couple soldiers come in, and one of them who is in the process of crossing over to the other side, and nobody can see or hear him except Klinger. He's trying to cope with the fact that he no longer is living and passing over into the side of the unknown. It's a very somber and real episode. The whole interaction between the soldier and Klinger is very good. Absolutely recommend this episode. It's one of my favorites. Number 2, Goodbye Radar. Now, this is a 2-part episode, and I don't necessarily hold the 2-part episodes different from the standard episodes, but this one was one where Radar kind of goes through the motions of not wanting to go to wanting to go, and the sad reality of him leaving behind a place that he really, really loves, and he doesn't want to go. And everybody else around him, had they been in that position, they would go in a heartbeat. It takes some tough love from Hawkeye to show him it's time for you to go. The ending, they set up for this really big going away party for him, and in true MASH fashion, you get the choppers coming in, and they kind of have to say goodbye in a quickly passing type of a manner, and you really feel for the character, and not just the character leaving the episode, a person leaving the show, and it's got so much heart in it. And honestly, Radar is maybe my favorite character in the entire show. He just is so innocent and caring, and he's just one of the ones in there that isn't jaded, that still believes in the good of people in the world. So having Radar go was one of the harder things I think they had to do in that series. And number 1, Goodbye, Farewell, and Amen. Now, this to me is the greatest episode in TV series history. And this is one of the, if not still, the most watched final episode of all time. And I never understood why for a long time. And I finally got to see it. I loved it. And I thought I had seen the whole episode. But it turns out it was almost a 2.5 to 3 hour episode. And I had only saw the second part. I finally got a chance to watch the full episode incomplete. Absolute tearjerker. Heartbreaking. Sad. Nothing of what I expected. This episode is so good and just so perfect. It does feel like two different episodes together. Going through the first part of it makes you really appreciate the second part of it. And man, this thing makes me cry every time I watch it. And you get to see people, essentially everybody in the unit has lost something. You know, Hawkeye lost his sanity. BJ lost time away from his daughter. Charles, he lost the love of his music. You know, Radar lost his boyhood innocence. It's just absolutely perfect way to end a damn near perfect show. For me, this will always be the greatest series finale of all time, and it probably will be the greatest TV show episode of all time. If you have not watched this, I highly, highly recommend it. It's such a good show. It's very emotional, and I cannot say enough positive things about it. So that is my top 5 MASH episodes of all time. Let me know what you think. Ones that maybe weren't on there that you feel are as good or better. But thanks for checking out the video, and have a good day.